Have you noticed it lately? The silence feels different. The energy between you and someone keeps pulling at your heart. That is not your imagination. Your soulmate is preparing to prove their love in a way you will never forget. Before we begin, subscribe, like this video, and comment, "I am ready for real love," because something powerful is shifting in your connection right now. Not every love story begins with flowers. Some begin with distance. Some begin with confusion. Some begin with two people fighting feelings they cannot explain. And sometimes the strongest soulmate connection enters your life when both people are emotionally exhausted. Your soulmate may not have understood your value at first. They may have hidden their emotions. They may have acted cold while secretly thinking about you every night. But there comes a moment in every soulmate connection where pretending becomes impossible. That moment is close. You can feel it. The signs are everywhere. The random thoughts, the dreams, the emotional pull, the strange feeling that something important is about to happen. Your spirit already knows before your eyes can see it. The truth is, soulmate love is different from ordinary attraction. It changes people internally. It forces emotional growth. It exposes wounds. It destroys ego. And eventually, it pushes one person to finally stop running from what they truly feel. Your soulmate has been battling emotions they cannot control. No matter how hard they try to distract themselves, your energy keeps returning to them. Your voice echoes in their mind. Your memories replay unexpectedly. Certain songs remind them of you. Specific places trigger emotions connected to you. Even when they try to move on, something inside them keeps leading them back to you. That is why they are about to prove their love. Because avoiding you emotionally has become harder than admitting the truth. And here is the powerful part. The proof you are about to receive will not feel fake. It will not feel forced. It will not sound like empty words. It will come from deep emotional realization. For some of you, this person will finally confess what they have hidden for a very long time. They will stop giving mixed signals. They will stop pretending they do not care. They will finally speak honestly. And when they do, you will realize they were feeling far more than they ever admitted. Soulmates often communicate spiritually before they communicate physically. That is why you have been sensing their emotions, even in silence. That is why your intuition keeps telling you not to give up completely. Part of your soul recognizes theirs. But let me tell you something important. Real soulmate love is not proven through obsession. It is proven through action. Consistency, presence, emotional courage, protection, honesty, growth. Your soulmate is entering a stage where they can no longer love you halfway. Half love no longer works in this connection. Breadcrumbs no longer work. Hot and cold behavior no longer works. The universe is forcing emotional truth to the surface. Some of you have cried over this person. Some of you stayed awake wondering if they truly cared. Some of you questioned your own worth because of their silence. But what you did not see was the internal war happening inside them. Many soulmate connections trigger fear before commitment. Fear of vulnerability. Fear of rejection. Fear of losing control. Fear of being hurt again. Sometimes your soulmate pulled away because loving you felt too deep. And deep love terrifies emotionally wounded people. But people cannot run forever from a connection that transforms them. Eventually, they start noticing something. Nobody else feels like you. Nobody else reaches their soul the same way. Nobody else creates that emotional intensity. Nobody else awakens them spiritually. And suddenly, they realize losing you would create a pain greater than their fear. That realization changes everything. Now they begin thinking differently. Now they begin imagining a future with you. Now they begin regretting moments where they acted immature. Now they begin understanding your value. Your soulmate is learning that real love is rare. Very rare. And once a soulmate realizes they almost lost someone truly meant for them, they begin moving differently. Watch carefully. You are about to notice signs. More effort, more honesty, more emotional openness, unexpected communication, a desire to spend more time with you, protective energy, deep conversations, emotional vulnerability they never showed before. This is not random. Their soul is tired of hiding. One thing psychology teaches us is this: people reveal their true feelings when the fear of losing someone becomes stronger than the fear of expressing love. That shift is happening now. Your soulmate has likely been observing you from a distance emotionally, watching your growth, watching your strength, watching you slowly detach from needing their validation. And strangely, your independence made them feel even closer to you. Because healthy soulmate energy is not desperate. It is magnetic. The moment you stopped chasing, something awakened inside them. Now they feel the possibility of truly losing you. Now they understand your silence differently. Now they feel urgency in their heart. That urgency is pushing them toward action. For some of you, they are preparing a serious conversation. For others, they are planning to return after a period of separation. For some, they are finally about to commit fully instead of giving partial love. And yes, some of you will receive an apology that feels deeply emotional. Not because they were told to apologize, but because guilt has been heavy inside them. Soulmate connections force emotional accountability. You cannot deeply hurt your soulmate without eventually feeling the emotional weight of it. And lately, your soulmate has been feeling everything. The nights they ignored you, the times they acted distant, the moments they failed to appreciate you, the emotional confusion they caused. It has been replaying in their mind. Why? Because soulmate energy reflects truth back to people. You mirrored parts of them they could not escape. You challenged their emotional walls. You exposed wounds they buried for years. And even though it felt uncomfortable, it changed them permanently. Never underestimate the impact you had on this person. You may think they forgot you. They did not. You may think they stopped caring. They did not. You may think silence meant emotional absence. It did not. Sometimes silence means someone is overwhelmed by emotions they do not know how to express. Especially men who were taught to suppress vulnerability. Especially people with emotional trauma. Especially people afraid of abandonment. But eventually emotions demand expression. And your soulmate is reaching that emotional breaking point. They are beginning to understand something powerful. Love is not weakness. Love is courage. Real love requires honesty. Real love requires effort. Real love requires emotional maturity. Your soulmate is slowly becoming the version of themselves capable of loving you properly. That transformation takes time, but once it begins, it changes everything. You may notice they suddenly become more attentive, more protective, more emotionally present, more intentional with communication. That is because their heart is no longer fighting the connection the same way. And here is something spiritual people understand deeply. When two souls are meant to reconnect, the energy becomes impossible to ignore. You start feeling them before they arrive. You dream about them more often. You think about them randomly. Their name appears unexpectedly. Your intuition becomes louder. These are emotional frequencies aligning again. The universe often prepares your spirit before physical movement happens. That is why this phase feels so intense lately. Your soulmate's energy is pulling toward you strongly now. But listen carefully. The biggest proof of love is not dramatic words. It is changed behavior. Anyone can say, "I love you." Not everyone can consistently show it. Your soulmate is entering a phase where they understand love must be demonstrated. Through loyalty, through reassurance, through presence, through effort, through emotional consistency. They know you deserve more than confusion. And deep inside, they are afraid another person could recognize your worth before they fully step up. That fear is waking them up emotionally. Psychologically, humans often value things more deeply when they realize they are not guaranteed forever. Your soulmate is realizing your love was never guaranteed. And now they are afraid of losing something sacred. Some of you have already started emotionally detaching. You became quieter. You focused on healing. You stopped begging for clarity. And strangely, that changed the energy completely. Because now your soulmate feels your absence emotionally. Now they feel the emptiness. Now they understand what life without your energy feels like. And it hurts them more than they expected. That pain is becoming motivation. Motivation to heal. Motivation to communicate. Motivation to prove themselves. Motivation to stop sabotaging the connection. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that real love requires responsibility. Not perfection. Responsibility. Owning mistakes. Choosing honesty. Protecting the connection instead of damaging it. That maturity is developing inside them now. And the beautiful thing is this. When soulmate love matures, it becomes extremely powerful. Because it is no longer based only on attraction. It becomes rooted in emotional understanding, spiritual growth, mutual healing, deep trust. Your soulmate may have once loved you immaturely, but now they are learning how to love you intentionally. There is a huge difference. Immature love says, "I want you when it feels easy." Mature love says, "I choose you even when things are difficult." Your soulmate is approaching that realization. And some of you will be shocked by how vulnerable they become. The person who once struggled to express emotion may suddenly speak openly. The person who acted detached may suddenly become deeply affectionate. The person who feared commitment may suddenly want stability. Because soulmate love changes people internally before it changes external reality. The transformation begins inside first. That is what has been happening behind the scenes. Even if you could not see it physically. Never assume silence means nothing is happening spiritually. Some of the deepest emotional transformations happen privately. Your soulmate has likely been questioning themselves lately, reflecting on past mistakes, thinking about conversations they wish they handled differently, wondering if you still care, wondering if they still have a chance with you. And the answer to that question matters deeply to them now. Because emotionally, they are more invested than before. This connection has reached a point where surface-level interaction no longer satisfies them. They crave emotional closeness with you now. They want truth, depth, security, authenticity, and for many of them, that realization feels overwhelming. Because they never expected one person to affect them this deeply. That is the power of soulmate energy. It touches parts of people that ordinary relationships cannot reach. And once awakened, those feelings are difficult to silence. Your soulmate is learning that no distraction truly replaces emotional alignment. Not attention from other people. Not temporary relationships. Not work. Not social media. Not pretending to move on. Nothing fully replaces the emotional connection they feel with you. That truth has been haunting them quietly. and now it is pushing them toward action. For some viewers, your soulmate may soon appear unexpectedly. A message, a phone call, a confession, a visit, a sudden emotional conversation. And when it happens, you will immediately feel the difference in their energy. Because this time it will feel sincere. Not surface level, not manipulative, not temporary. You will sense emotional depth behind their words. Why? Because they have changed emotionally. Pain changed them. Distance changed them. Fear changed them. Missing you changed them. Sometimes people only understand love fully after experiencing the possibility of losing it. That experience transformed your soulmate internally. But remember this carefully. You must still protect your own emotional peace. Soulmate love should heal, not destroy you. Yes, deep connections involve challenges. Yes, emotional growth takes time. But healthy love still requires respect. Do not abandon your standards simply because someone returns emotionally. Real soulmate love rises to meet your value. And if this person truly is preparing to prove their love, their actions will show emotional growth clearly. Watch for consistency. Watch for accountability. Watch for emotional effort. Watch for honesty. True love is not confusing forever. Eventually, clarity arrives. And clarity is approaching your connection now. You have probably noticed yourself changing too. You became wiser emotionally. You became stronger spiritually. You stopped settling for less. You began valuing your own peace more deeply. That growth was necessary because soulmate connections are designed to evolve both people, not just one. And your growth is part of the reason this connection is shifting now. Your energy changed first. Now theirs is following. That is how spiritual alignment often works. One person heals. The other begins awakening emotionally afterward. Your soulmate can feel your transformation. They can feel you becoming emotionally stronger, more grounded, more self-aware, less dependent on their validation. And strangely, that made them respect you even more. Because true soulmate love is not built on emotional control. It is built on mutual elevation. You inspire each other to become better versions of yourselves. That is why this connection feels different from anything else. It was never just chemistry. It was transformation. And transformation changes lives permanently. Your soulmate may have spent a long time trying to understand why they could not forget you. Why your absence affected them so deeply. Why your energy lingered in their mind. Now they are beginning to understand. You touched their soul, not just their emotions, not just their physical attraction, their soul. And once someone touches your soul deeply, life never feels exactly the same afterward. That is why your soulmate keeps returning emotionally to thoughts of you. Because your connection awakened something permanent inside them. And now they are reaching a point where they no longer want to hide what they feel. They are tired of emotional masks, tired of pretending, tired of suppressing love. The emotional pressure has become too strong. That pressure often leads to breakthrough moments. Moments where someone finally says everything they were afraid to say. Moments where someone finally fights for the connection instead of running from it. Moments where love finally becomes visible instead of hidden. You are approaching one of those moments now. And when it happens, it may feel surreal. Because part of you waited for this. Part of you sensed it long before evidence appeared physically. Your intuition was not wrong. Energy speaks before actions arrive. That is why you felt the shift early. Your soulmate has been emotionally moving toward you internally for a while now. The physical reality is simply catching up. Do not ignore the signs. The emotional intensity, the synchronicities, the dreams, the repeated thoughts, the pull in your spirit. These things often increase before major emotional movement occurs. Your soulmate's heart is becoming louder than their fear. And once love becomes louder than fear, everything changes. That is when people begin taking risks emotionally. That is when confessions happen. That is when commitment becomes possible. That is when emotional walls begin collapsing. Your soulmate is moving toward that emotional breakthrough now. Some of you have spent months doubting this connection, wondering if it was all in your head, wondering if they secretly moved on, wondering if you should give up completely. But deep inside, something kept telling you the story was unfinished. That feeling existed for a reason. Because soulmate connections often move through periods of separation before emotional maturity develops. Distance is sometimes part of the lesson. It teaches value. It teaches emotional responsibility. It teaches both people what truly matters. Your soulmate needed to grow emotionally before they could fully meet you where you are. And now growth is happening. Slowly, deeply, powerfully. You are not dealing with the same version of this person anymore. Experiences changed them. Loneliness changed them. Missing you changed them. And now they are realizing something important. Love should not only be felt, it should be expressed. That realization is pushing them toward action now. For some viewers, this person may soon say words you have waited a very long time to hear. For others, they may prove love through consistent behavior instead of speeches. And honestly, actions matter more. Anyone can create emotional moments. Real love creates emotional safety. Your soulmate is learning how to create that safety with you. That is the powerful shift happening here. They are no longer thinking only about what they feel. They are beginning to think about what you need emotionally too. That is maturity. And mature soulmate love becomes one of the strongest emotional bonds a person can experience. Because it combines passion with understanding, depth with stability, emotion with intentionality. Your soulmate is slowly stepping into that version of love. And when they finally prove it, it will answer many questions you carried silently in your heart. You will understand why the connection felt impossible to forget. You will understand why your intuition stayed attached. You will understand why your soul kept sensing unfinished energy. Because some connections are written deeper than logic. Not every relationship is a soulmate connection. But soulmate love leaves spiritual fingerprints on your life forever. And your soulmate carries your energy with them every single day. Even if they never admitted it before. But now they are close to admitting everything. Close to showing you what you truly mean to them. Close to proving that their love is real. So if this message resonates deeply with your spirit, pay attention over the next few weeks. Watch the energy carefully. Watch the communication carefully. Watch their actions carefully. Because your soulmate is approaching a powerful emotional turning point. And this time, they may finally stop hiding their heart. If you believe love is moving toward you, comment, "My soulmate chooses me now." Subscribe for more spiritual and psychological insights. And remember this: the deepest soulmate connections are not built overnight. They are built through awakening, healing, truth, and the courage to finally love without fear.